Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Let the world outside dissolve into silence. There is nothing you must do, nothing to achieve, nowhere to go. For a few moments, I want you to step away from the noise of the outer world and listen to something far greater, the quiet whisper within you. It has always been there, waiting patiently for your attention, waiting for you to realize that the power you seek is not outside of you, it is you. I will teach you how to feel it. Everything begins here, in this inner stillness. Before there was action, before there was form, before there was even a word spoken, there was a feeling. That feeling was the seed of creation. Every event that has ever unfolded in your life was first felt within you. You may have thought it began with effort, struggle, or chance, but it began in the invisible. It began with a feeling that you accepted as true. So now we go back to the beginning, not to the past of time, but to the root of experience, the present awareness from which all things are born. The power to create is not in the doing, it is in the feeling. If I asked you to imagine the taste of your favorite fruit, you could do it right now. You could close your eyes and feel its sweetness, the texture, the sensation on your tongue. Your body would even respond as if it were real. That is the same power that shapes your entire life. Your world is nothing more than the reflection of what you are feeling within yourself. But here is the secret most never learn. You cannot pretend to feel something, you must become it. You cannot trick your inner self with empty words or affirmations spoken without life. You must feel it until it is real to you, until you need nothing more because it already exists in your consciousness. When you do, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match the new pattern you've established within. So tonight, or whenever you choose, I want you to enter this sacred space, not with anxiety, not with a sense of trying to get something, but with quiet confidence that what you desire is already done. I want you to feel what it feels like to already have it. There is a reason desire exists in you. It is not there to torment you. It is life's invitation to express something greater. It is the voice of your own being calling you into a higher state of consciousness. When you feel the desire for love, abundance, health, or freedom, it is because that state already exists within you, waiting to be recognized. And the way to recognize it is through feeling. You do not beg for what is yours. You accept it. You receive it by assuming the feeling that it is already true. Think of the moments when you were deeply in love, or when you accomplished something you had longed for. In those moments, your heart was not filled with effort. It was filled with a natural sense of being. You weren't forcing anything, you were simply living the state of fulfillment. And that is what I want you to learn to do consciously, deliberately, until it becomes second nature. When you lie down at night, let your last thoughts be not of what is missing, but of what is already yours. Imagine it so vividly that it becomes more real than the world around you. Feel the softness of the pillow beneath your head and let your mind drift gently into the scene of your fulfilled desire. It could be something simple, the warmth of a hand in yours, the comfort of a home that feels like peace, the quiet assurance that all is well. Don't rush the feeling. Don't force it. Simply relax into it. It is not about how clearly you can see it, but how deeply you can feel it. The clearer the feeling, the more effortlessly it expresses itself in the outer world. Many people spend their lives trying to change what they can see, unaware that the cause of all change lies in what they cannot see. They try to fix circumstances while their inner state remains unchanged. But life only mirrors consciousness. You cannot experience what you are unwilling to feel. So I will teach you to feel it, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a steady awareness of being. Feel it as you would feel the sun on your skin. Feel it as you would feel the warmth of safety, the quiet of knowing. This feeling is the language of creation. The universe responds to it unfailingly. If you want to experience love, do not look for someone to give it to you. Feel love within yourself now. Feel the joy of being adored, the warmth of affection, the peace of mutual understanding. Let that feeling fill your body, your breath, your heartbeat. It is not imagination, it is creation. Because the moment you feel it as real, you have entered that reality. If you want abundance, do not look at your bank account and despair. Feel the freedom of abundance now. Feel what it is like to have more than enough, to give freely, to live without fear or limitation. Even if the numbers outside tell you otherwise, stay loyal to your inner feeling. For the outer must eventually bow to the inner. When you want health, do not dwell on the illness. Feel wholeness, feel strength, feel life moving freely through you. Close your eyes and dwell in the state of perfect well-being until you can sense it so completely that you no longer question it. This is how creation begins. It is simple, but it requires faith. Not faith in something external, but faith in your own awareness. For the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. When you feel it, you move into alignment with the reality where it already exists. You may not see immediate change, but do not be deceived. The seed is already planted. And just as no farmer digs up the soil each day to check if the seed is growing, you too must remain still, confident, and faithful to your inner knowing. The feeling you cultivate tonight is the reality you will walk into tomorrow. Do not say, when it happens, I will feel it. Say instead, because I feel it, it will happen. This reversal of thought is the difference between waiting for life to change and realizing that you are the one who changes it. You have been given the most sacred gift, imagination, not as a dream, but as the blueprint of creation itself. When you imagine with feeling, you are shaping the unseen substance of reality. Every thought impregnated with emotion becomes alive, and once it is alive within you, nothing can prevent it from appearing without. This is why feeling is everything. It is not about positive thinking, it is about inner embodiment. Thinking is of the mind, but feeling belongs to the spirit. The mind may doubt, but feeling knows. The mind questions, but feeling accepts. When you feel it real, you have already claimed it in the invisible realm. So tonight, as you rest, let go of effort. Let go of the belief that you must struggle or strive. You do not climb to heaven, you awaken to it. Heaven is not a place. It is a state of consciousness, and the door to it is feeling. You are not seeking to become something, you are remembering what you already are. When you feel yourself to be what you desire, you dissolve the illusion of separation. The one who desires and the thing desired become one. That union is creation. Imagine standing at the edge of a calm sea. The water is still, reflecting the light of the moon. Each ripple that moves across its surface begins from the slightest touch. That touch is your feeling. When you drop a feeling into the still waters of your consciousness, it expands outward, touching every corner of your reality. The world responds to your inner movement. If your feeling is one of fear, you create experiences that confirm that fear. If your feeling is one of peace, life unfolds peacefully. You cannot hide from what you feel. But the beauty is, you can always choose again. You can close your eyes right now and enter a new state, one where you are already living your desire. No one can prevent you from doing that. No circumstance, no condition, no person can stand between you and the reality of your inner feeling. For the inner world is sovereign. It rules the outer without struggle. This is the art of feeling it real. It is gentle yet powerful. It is simple yet infinite. It is the key to every door you've ever wanted to open. So I ask you now, what would you feel if everything you've ever wanted were yours this very moment? What would your breath feel like? What thoughts would naturally flow through your mind? What peace would rest upon your shoulders? Stay there. Feel that. Let it wash over you. Do not rush back to the old state of lack or worry. Remain faithful to this feeling as though it were already fact. This is the moment creation begins, in the invisible stillness where your awareness says, "It is done." There is no magic in the outer act. The magic is in the inner conviction. The moment you dare to feel yourself already fulfilled, you have shifted realities. The outer may take time to catch up, but it must follow. It always follows. When you truly understand this, you will stop asking how and start saying now. For in the world of feeling, all things are now. Time is only a servant of your inner assumption. The longer you sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the sooner you will see it reflected in your world. So let's go deeper. Feel the calmness of fulfillment. Imagine yourself not as someone waiting, but as one who already is. Feel the gentle certainty that comes with having received. You are no longer reaching, you are resting. You are no longer hoping, you are knowing. This is the divine rest that precedes manifestation. The more natural the feeling becomes, the faster the outer world aligns. Because the world does not respond to words, it responds to vibration, to the frequency of your inner state. That frequency is determined not by what you think, but by what you feel. So tonight, I want you to live as though your wish were already a part of you. Carry it in your heart, speak from it, breathe from it, walk from it. Let every moment be a quiet celebration of what already is. You don't need to force yourself to believe. You only need to relax into the feeling of being. The more you feel, the more you know. And the more you know, the less you doubt. Doubt fades in the presence of real feeling. When you feel something so vividly, the mind no longer argues. It accepts it as truth. That is when change begins. When you start to feel something so deeply that it becomes more real than the world around you, you have already shifted into a new state of being. The outer world will always follow the inner, for the inner is the blueprint. All that you now see, all that you call real, was once invisible, born from the unseen realm of imagination and feeling. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the relationships you hold, all were once mere ideas, faint sparks within consciousness, until someone dared to feel them into existence. And so it is with you. You are constantly shaping the unseen substance of life through the tones and textures of your feelings. You may not always be aware of it, but your emotional state is the mold through which reality flows. You are not simply reacting to life, you are projecting it moment by moment through what you feel to be true. You may look at your present circumstances and think this is just how things are. But in truth, they are how you have felt things to be. The world around you is the echo of your inner assumption. When that assumption changes, the echo changes too. It must, for nothing can resist the power of a sustained feeling. There is no resistance in the world outside, only reflection. So when you wish to alter what you see, do not fight against the shadows on the wall. Turn toward the light within. Change the image you are holding in your heart, and the shadows will rearrange themselves naturally. The secret, however, is constancy. It is not enough to feel it once and then return to doubt. The feeling must become natural to you, so normal, so familiar, that you no longer question it. Just as you do not question your own name, you must come to know your desire as already yours. This is not pretending. Pretending has effort. Feeling has ease. Pretending comes from the mind trying to force belief. Feeling arises from the soul knowing truth. When you pretend, you are aware of the gap between you and your desire, but when you feel it real, that gap disappears. You no longer look for it, you live from it. Consider a child at play. The child does not try to imagine, the child becomes. Give them a simple stick and in an instant it is a sword. They move with certainty, with total conviction. They do not doubt that they are a brave knight or an explorer of new worlds. They feel it completely, and in that feeling, the world around them bends to their imagination. That is the secret most adults forget. The innocence of feeling without effort. The purity of belief without resistance. To feel it real is to return to that purity. It is to let go of reasoning, of calculating, of wondering how it will all come to pass. You do not plant a seed and demand to see the roots. You trust the invisible process. The same is true here. Once the feeling is established, creation is already complete. The rest is only unfolding. Each morning when you wake, pause before you rise. Let your first thoughts be from the state of fulfillment. Feel gratitude, not for what will come, but for what already is. Gratitude seals the feeling. It tells consciousness that you accept the gift as received. Do not wake up thinking of problems or delays. Begin from the end, from the assurance that all is well. When you walk through your day, carry this inner mood quietly. You need not speak of it to anyone. You need not explain yourself. The power of feeling works in silence. As you move, act from the version of yourself who already has what they desired. Speak from that confidence, think from that calmness, and soon you will notice subtle shifts in the world around you. Doors will open where there were none. People will appear to help you. Opportunities will seem to fall into place. But they are not coincidences. They are the outer reflections of your inner assumption. You will see how simple life becomes when you stop fighting it and start feeling it. For what you feel consistently is what must come to pass. There are those who believe that power lies in action, but action is only the echo of being. If you act without inner conviction, your actions will exhaust you. But when your actions arise naturally from a fulfilled feeling, they are effortless, almost guided. You move without strain, for you are flowing from the state of completion, not striving toward it. This is why so many struggle. They act from lack. They speak, think, and move as though they do not yet have what they want, and so they continue to experience not having it. But once you learn to reverse this, to act, think, and feel as though you already possess it, you'll free yourself from the endless loop of desire and disappointment. Imagine the artist who sees a masterpiece in their mind before the first stroke of paint touches the canvas. They already feel the beauty of it, the satisfaction, the completion. The painting is only the expression of that inner reality. So too, your life is the canvas and your feelings are the brush. What you feel long enough, strong enough, must take form. There is nothing too small or too grand to manifest. The same law governs all. Whether it is a cup of coffee or the love of your life, the process is identical. Feel it as real, rest in the assumption that it is done, and live from that knowing. Do not look for signs, become the sign. Do not wait for proof, be the proof. The moment you feel differently about yourself, the world rearranges itself accordingly. The power of feeling is not limited by logic. Logic belongs to the realm of what already is. Feeling belongs to the realm of what can be. You must learn to move beyond appearances, not with force, but with faith. When appearances contradict your desire, smile inwardly and say, "It is already done." Stay in the state of the end, for only there can you be free. You will know when you have truly felt it, because peace will replace effort. You will no longer be anxious about outcomes. You will no longer seek signs of change. You will simply know. That knowing may come softly, without fanfare, but it will settle in your being like a calm certainty. From that moment, you have entered the state of fulfillment, and nothing can keep your desire from you. Do not underestimate the quiet power of inner stillness. The world may tell you that progress comes through noise and movement, but true creation is silent. When you sit quietly and feel, you are not being idle, you are rearranging the entire universe. Each time you return to this stillness, you strengthen the bridge between the invisible and the visible. The feeling becomes familiar, and what becomes familiar becomes reality. There will be moments when doubt arises. Let it. Do not fight it. Simply return to the feeling. Feel once more the warmth of fulfillment. Let it wrap around you until doubt loses its voice. You do not conquer doubt by reasoning with it. You dissolve it by dwelling in the higher state of knowing. If you stumble, begin again. Each time you do, you build spiritual muscle. Each repetition makes the feeling stronger, more natural, more real. Soon it will be impossible not to believe, because you will have lived in the feeling so long that it becomes the only reality you know. This is the transformation that changes everything. You begin to see that the outer world is no longer something you must chase or manipulate. It is a living mirror, faithfully reflecting your inner tones. And as you refine your inner world, the reflection grows ever more beautiful. The mind will try to interfere, asking how long it will take or what steps must be followed. But the heart knows no time. The heart feels only the eternal now. When you live from feeling, you step outside of time. The question of when disappears because you already are. When you can say, I am already that without hesitation, the outer world aligns instantly. For the world can only show you what you are conscious of being. Nothing more, nothing less. To feel it real is to stand in that sacred knowing. You close your eyes, not to escape the world, but to create it anew. You step into the invisible, into that rich, vibrant world where imagination is the only reality, and when you open your eyes again, you carry that reality with you. It radiates through your tone of voice, your movement, your gaze. Others can sense it, even if they cannot name it. They feel the calm assurance of one who knows. And that knowing changes everything. When you understand this, life becomes a quiet dance between inner and outer, between feeling and form. You no longer chase the outer conditions. You summon them through your state of being. Each moment becomes an opportunity to choose again, to select a higher feeling, a deeper knowing, a clearer awareness of who you are. There is no limit to how far you can go. You can recreate yourself endlessly. You can move from lack to abundance, from loneliness to love, from doubt to divine certainty, simply by feeling your way into a new state. The key is persistence, gentle, relaxed persistence. Each night as you drift into sleep, feel the end. Feel it so deeply that your body believes it. Let the rhythm of your breath match the rhythm of fulfillment. Your subconscious mind, that faithful servant, will take that feeling and express it as fact. You may wake one morning and find that the world has subtly changed. People respond differently, opportunities appear, coincidences align, but these are not miracles. They are natural consequences of a change in feeling. If you wish to accelerate the process, do not work harder, feel deeper. Feeling is the only work required. Once the feeling is real within you, everything else follows effortlessly. So take a breath now. Feel the air entering your lungs, carrying with it the essence of life itself. With each breath, imagine you are breathing in the reality of your desire. Let it fill you. Let it become you. Do not try to hold it. Simply allow it. The outer world is temporary, ever shifting, but the inner world is eternal. It is the womb of all creation. And when you dwell there, when you live there, you command life with grace rather than effort. Feeling is the doorway. Step through it often. Feel the joy of already having, the peace of already being, the beauty of already knowing. From this place, life responds in kind, echoing your inner truth back to you in perfect harmony. This is not wishful thinking. It is the deepest law of existence, that consciousness creates reality, and consciousness is shaped by feeling. So when you find yourself seeking, stop, be still, close your eyes, feel it done, and know that the moment you feel it as real, creation is complete. The rest is only time catching up with eternity. The world outside is merely your echo. What will you choose to feel today? For in truth, every moment you are feeling something, whether you realize it or not. You are never without a vibration. Even silence has a tone, and that tone calls forth its likeness. When you feel doubt, you summon more reasons to doubt. When you feel peace, life organizes itself around that peace. So the great work is not to force outer changes, but to gently direct the current of feeling within. You must understand that feeling is not a fleeting emotion. It is the steady atmosphere of your inner world. When you maintain an inner atmosphere of joy, gratitude, or certainty, it becomes impossible for life not to mirror it back. Everything you encounter will carry that same fragrance. Notice now how you feel when you think of your desire. Is there tension? Is there longing? Is there a quiet knowing? Be honest with yourself, for honesty is clarity, and clarity gives power. If you find resistance, don't judge it, simply relax into the awareness that you can choose again. Every breath is an opportunity to shift. Imagine now that you are standing before a vast canvas, the canvas of your life. In your hand is a brush, dipped in feeling. Each thought you think, each emotion you allow is a stroke upon that canvas. Some paint fear, others love. Some paint limitation, others freedom. And with every stroke, the picture of your life takes shape. If you do not like the image before you, do not despair. Simply pick up the brush again and begin to paint anew, not with effort, but with feeling. Let the picture form within you before it ever appears outside. Feel the tones, the light, the movement of it. Let it become so alive within your imagination that it needs no proof. For the feeling of it is the proof. Once the feeling is steady, the image will project itself outward effortlessly. You may have been told that you must deserve your desires, that you must earn them through labor or sacrifice. But the universe does not operate by merit. It operates by vibration. It gives to each according to the feeling they maintain. You are not rewarded for struggle, you are aligned by assumption. You receive not because you beg, but because you believe. And belief is not a thought repeated in the mind, it is a feeling accepted in the heart. You can repeat 1,000 affirmations and yet remain unchanged if your inner feeling contradicts them. But one moment of genuine feeling, one deep breath of absolute conviction, outweighs all the effort in the world. You see, the creative power does not respond to your words, it responds to your tone. The tone of your being is what shapes your reality. If you speak of abundance but feel lack, it hears lack. If you speak of love but feel loneliness, it hears loneliness. If you say, I am free but feel bound, it hears bondage. But when you feel what you say, when word and feeling become one, the universe moves instantly. This is why you must learn to feel deliberately. To feel with awareness is to take control of creation itself, no longer tossed about by moods or appearances. You become the master of your inner climate. And as within, so without. Do not wait for the world to change before you change your feeling. That is the reversal most livid. They say, I will be happy when I see results. But you must feel results before you see them. Feeling first, manifestation second. That is the eternal law. Imagine that every desire you have already exists, waiting for you to tune into its frequency. Just as music exists in the air before you turn on the radio, your fulfilled desires exist in consciousness before they appear in form. Your feeling is the dial that tunes you in. When you match the vibration of what you want, it appears effortlessly. You do not create anything new. You merely select from infinite possibilities the one you wish to experience. And your selection is made not through effort, but through feeling. Let us say you desire peace. Then feel peace. Do not seek it, feel it. Let the breath slow, the body soften. Let the heart expand as though it already rests in perfect calm. As you maintain that feeling, you will find that the world begins to mirror it. Situations that once disturbed you lose their power. People who once agitated you fade from focus. Circumstances that once seemed overwhelming become manageable, even harmonious. Or perhaps you seek love, then feel love. Feel it not as a distant dream, but as the very air around you. Let it move through your chest like warm sunlight. Let your breath carry it, your smile radiate it. Do not search for someone to love you. Become love itself. When you do, love cannot help but find you, for it recognizes its own reflection. The same is true for abundance, health, purpose. Each begins as a feeling within. You do not chase it, you align with it. You do not wait for signs, you become the sign. Each moment you have a choice to react from the past or to feel from the end. Most people live as though the past dictates the present. They say, this happened, therefore I am this way. But you can reverse the flow. You can say, I feel this way, therefore my world must reflect it. The past loses power the instant you stop feeding it with feeling. Even memory is only feeling held in place. Change the feeling and you rewrite the memory's influence. The future too is but a projection of feeling. So why not choose the feeling that builds the world you want? There is no force greater than a sustained inner tone. When you hold a feeling long enough, it gathers substance. It begins to crystallize. People and events start aligning themselves to fulfill it. And when it arrives, you will feel no surprise, only recognition. For you have lived it inwardly all along. This is why patience is not waiting. Patience is faith maintained. When you feel something as real and remain loyal to that feeling, you are patient in the truest sense. The seed knows it will bloom. It does not rush. The river knows it will reach the sea. It does not doubt. So too you must know, and yet do not confuse knowing with forcing. You need not strain to hold the feeling. Relax into it. Let it become your natural state. If it fades, gently return. If doubts arise, smile and return. Always return. For the feeling you return to most often becomes your dwelling place, and the world reflects the home you inhabit within. You may begin to notice subtle signs, a conversation overheard, a message at just the right time, a sudden sense of ease. These are whispers from the universe saying, You are on the path. Accept them with gratitude, but do not cling to them. The feeling itself is your assurance. When you live from the end, you stop seeking validation. You no longer need to prove or persuade. You rest in quiet confidence. Others may not understand it. They may even question your calm. But that is because they still believe reality is fixed. You know better. You know reality bends to feeling. The moment you begin to live this way, everything changes. Not always dramatically at first, but subtly, deeply, unshakably. You will notice that struggle loses its grip. You will find joy in simple moments. Not because of what happens, but because of what you are being. You will realize that life was never against you, it was only reflecting you. There is a rhythm to this work, a softness. You cannot rush feeling, just as you cannot force the tide. But you can learn its timing, its flow. You can enter that flow through quiet contemplation, through stillness, through imagination. When you sit in silence and close your eyes, imagine the scene that implies your wish fulfilled. Do not watch it as an outsider. Live within it. Touch it. Breathe it. Taste it. Feel the satisfaction of its completion. The more real it feels, the more power it carries. Then let it go and rest. You have done your part. Creation is not a battle, it is a surrender to the reality of feeling. You surrender not to fear, but to fulfillment. You let the feeling lead and life follows. And should you falter, should you find yourself doubting again, do not condemn yourself. Simply return to feeling. The universe does not punish mistakes. It responds to states. Every new feeling is a fresh command to creation. You could begin right now. Think of one thing you desire deeply. Do not analyze it, just hold it in your heart. Now ask yourself, what would I feel if it were already mine? And then feel that. Not in the future, now. Feel the relief, the joy, the completeness. Let that feeling wash over you. Remain in it for a few moments. Let it sink beneath the surface of thought into the still waters of your being. That is all that is required. You have planted the seed. Now live as though it were already true. You will notice how naturally inspired action begins to arise. You will not need to push yourself. You will simply know what to do and when. That is the beauty of feeling. It guides you without strain. It arranges circumstances with precision you could never plan. This is the effortless art of creation, not through force, but through alignment. You align your inner tone with the reality you wish to experience, and the rest unfolds. The world outside, though vast and complex, is but a shadow. The real movement happens within, and as you master this inner movement, as you learn to direct feeling, you become free. Free from the tyranny of appearances, free from the illusion of delay, free from the fear of lack. You begin to live from a place of quiet dominion, knowing that nothing can stand between you and your feeling of being. The law is simple yet infinite. As within, so without. You do not beg the outer world to change. You command it silently through the feeling of already being changed. You become the cause rather than the effect. When you know this truth not as theory but as experience, life becomes an unfolding miracle. You wake each morning aware that your world is your canvas, your feelings the colors, your imagination the brush, and you paint not with fear but with joy, not with effort but with love. Each moment you choose to feel the best within yourself, you honor the divine power that breathes through you. You become a conscious creator, a living expression of the infinite. And all of this begins with one simple act, the willingness to feel. The willingness to feel. That is where creation truly begins. It is not a complicated process, and it does not belong only to mystics or saints. Every human being on this earth is feeling their world into existence, whether they know it or not. You have been doing it since the moment you first became aware of yourself. But to do it consciously, that is the difference between living by reaction and living by design. To feel deliberately is to step into the role of the creator within you. It is to awaken to your true nature, not as a limited being pushed around by circumstance, but as the one who gives circumstance its meaning and direction. You begin to realize that everything around you bends to the silent vibration you carry, and this realization is both humbling and empowering, for it leaves no room for blame, and yet it offers infinite freedom. If you are willing to feel it, you can have it. That is the eternal truth, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because the universe must mirror the consciousness that sustains it. Take a moment and breathe. Feel the air move through you. That breath is proof of life, and that life is proof of power. You are not separate from the source that creates worlds. You are that source in individualized form. And as that source, your only real tool of creation is the feeling of being. The outer world may tempt you to forget this. It may show you appearances that contradict your inner vision. But appearances are nothing more than echoes of old feelings. They have no life of their own. If you wish to change them, withdraw your attention from them and return to the inner reality. Feel what you want to feel, regardless of what the senses report. That is true faith, the ability to remain loyal to your inner knowing even when the outer world has yet to catch up. The senses will argue, of course. They will whisper doubts, asking, "Where is it? Why hasn't it happened yet?" But you must remember that the senses are servants, not masters. They reflect, they do not command. Their only duty is to show you what you have already accepted within. So train them gently, teach them through persistence of feeling what reality truly is, and soon they will obey. You may notice that this process feels effortless once you stop resisting. Feeling is natural. It is the language of your being. You have been doing it since before you could speak. A child feels before it thinks. The first reaction to the world is always emotional, an internal movement of energy. That movement is creation. You do not need to learn how to feel. You only need to remember how to feel deliberately. When you practice this, you will find that feeling is not just emotion, it is awareness with texture. It is knowing clothed in sensation. When you feel joy, you are aligning with the frequency of fulfillment. When you feel gratitude, you are declaring to the universe that the gift is already yours. When you feel peace, you are telling life that all is complete. So begin to observe your inner state throughout the day. Notice the quiet background feeling that runs beneath your thoughts. That subtle vibration is shaping your experiences even more than your words or actions. Change that tone, and the whole melody of your life will shift. If you find yourself feeling anxious, pause. Do not resist it. Instead, breathe through it. Ask yourself, what would peace feel like right now? And then feel it. You do not need to understand why the anxiety came. You only need to know that you can replace it with something higher. The moment you choose peace, you shift realities. You may think it cannot be that simple, but simplicity is the hallmark of truth. Life was never meant to be complex. The struggle exists only because humanity has forgotten how to feel with faith. We have been trained to think our way through life, to reason, to analyze, to strategize. But all true creation bypasses the intellect. The intellect can describe the result, but it cannot produce it. Only feeling can do that. To feel is to know, to feel is to claim, to feel is to become. When you feel something deeply enough, it becomes a law unto itself. The world reorganizes around it. People move, opportunities appear, situations unfold, not because you forced them, but because you became the cause. Feeling is the cause of all causation. Do not mistake temporary resistance for failure. Sometimes, when a new feeling is born, the old conditions must dissolve. That dissolution can look like chaos. But do not be deceived. What feels like breakdown is often the rearranging of the outer world to match your new inner state. Remain calm during that phase. The storm always precedes the calm of manifestation. When doubt or fear arises, do not condemn yourself. Simply return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and sink into that reality again. Feel it so completely that nothing else matters. The mind may scream, "It isn't real," but your feeling will whisper, "It already is." Trust the whisper. You may do this before sleep when the mind is quietest. As you drift into that in-between state, imagine yourself already living the reality you desire. Do not watch yourself from afar. Become the one living it. Hear the sounds, feel the sensations, breathe the air of that new world. Fall asleep in that state. As you sleep, your subconscious will take that feeling and weave it into your waking world. There is immense power in this nightly ritual, for the subconscious never argues. It only accepts what you feel to be true. It is the fertile soil of creation, and feeling is the seed. Whatever seed you plant there must grow, but you must be gentle with yourself. Do not rush the process or demand instant proof. The tree does not force its fruit to ripen before its time. It rests, knowing that all is unfolding perfectly. You too must rest in the certainty that once the feeling is planted, creation is inevitable. If ever you find yourself tempted to complain, stop and feel instead. Complaining is the act of reaffirming what you do not want. Feeling is the act of creating what you do. Choose wisely where you place your attention, for attention is feeling's companion. Where attention goes, energy flows. Some may call this imagination, and they would be right. But imagination is not fantasy, it is the creative act itself. The world you now see was once imagination. Every invention, every relationship, every city was first felt and imagined before it came to life. So do not dismiss your inner images as daydreams. They are the blueprint of tomorrow. When you begin to honor imagination as reality, you will find that the line between the unseen and the seen begins to blur. You will walk through life knowing that every invisible thing you have felt real within will sooner or later stand before you in form. Even when challenges come, you will not fear them. You will understand that they are not punishments but prompts, signs guiding you to refine your feeling. Every difficulty is only a question asking, what are you believing now? Answer it not with words, but with a shift in feeling. Choose again. Choose peace. Choose abundance. Choose love. There will come a point when this practice no longer feels like practice at all. It will become the natural rhythm of your life. You will feel your way through every moment, conversations, decisions, opportunities, guided not by logic but by inner resonance. You will move through the world with grace, as though life itself is conspiring in your favor. And it always has been. You are simply learning to see it. The old way of living, waiting for circumstances to dictate your emotions, will fade away. You will realize that you were never meant to be at the mercy of events. Events are at the mercy of you. Your inner world is the master key. Imagine waking each morning already filled with gratitude for a life that feels complete even before the day begins. Imagine walking through the world with a calm certainty that everything you need is already unfolding. Imagine living not in reaction, but in creation. This is not a dream, it is your birthright. The more you practice, the more your senses adjust to this new way of being. You will see the beauty in simple things, because you will be vibrating at the frequency of beauty itself. You will find peace in places that once disturbed you, because peace will be your natural state. And you will inspire others simply by your presence, for your energy will speak louder than your words. You will understand too that feeling it real is not about possessions or status. It is about alignment. It is about remembering who you truly are. Infinite consciousness expressing itself as you. When you feel from that truth, you realize you already have everything. The outer manifestations are only reflections of that inner fullness. Still, the outer will come, as it must. Life will mirror your inner richness with physical abundance, relationships, opportunities. But you will no longer be attached to them, because you will know their source lies within. You will enjoy them without dependence, and that is true freedom. Keep returning to the feeling no matter what. In joy or sorrow, in ease or challenge, return. The feeling is home. It is the quiet center of creation that never moves, even when the world around you shifts. You will know you are close when the feeling becomes effortless, when peace feels as natural as breathing, when gratitude rises unbidden, when love flows without cause. In that state, life ceases to be something you manage, it becomes something you express. You become like the wind, unseen yet felt, powerful yet silent, shaping the landscape of your world through the invisible force of being. And as you live from that inner place, you will look back and realize that nothing ever truly changed except you. The world simply followed the rhythm of your feeling. Everything you once chased will begin to chase you. Everything you once struggled for will flow to you. Not because you demanded it, but because you became the version of yourself for whom it was natural. That is the true art. To be so filled with the feeling of the wish fulfilled that the wish itself dissolves. There is no more wanting, only being. And that being is the source of all creation. So now, as you stand in this quiet awareness, understand that nothing more is required of you but to feel. The power you sought was never outside, it was always resting gently within your own consciousness, waiting for recognition. When you feel it, you claim it. When you persist in that feeling, life itself must rearrange to honor it. Let this truth settle deeply within you. You do not chase what is already yours. You do not struggle to create what already exists in consciousness. You simply assume the feeling of it being done, and in that assumption, you become one with your desire. From this moment forward, walk through life as if your wish were already fulfilled. Let the calm certainty of it color your every breath. Speak from it, act from it, live from it. For the world is not your master, it is your mirror. And when you hold the right feeling, that mirror must reflect the beauty, peace, and abundance that you have chosen to embody. Now, be still and know that it is done.